Purge, starting with you, we have Team Spirit, the one team that has been the only team been able to take a game off of VP. Do you feel like they can do it here today?
I think they can, but I'm also excited that we might see some like weird jungle Huskar stuff. I want to see some new meta. Navi sitting pretty pleasant. Obviously, getting first seed is very important because they can make it all the way to the playoff stage rather than group stage. But I want to see some cool stuff. I'm excited.
Will Navi pick Enigma?
I think so.
Will Team Spirit pick Huskar and go for the VP draft and go for Huskar position 5?
No.
Don't know yet.
No?
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
No.
Is it really? I mean,
Spirit's playing for survival here. Death Prophet, that sounds like a lot.
Oh, that's more. That's
but
more
will
stable.
Navi picking it?
Yes,
There it is.
Of course they will.
Of course they will.
I mean, you take the Earth Spirit, it kind of telegraphs it. This is arguably the ideal 4 position to run with the Enigma off lane. Secure the lane. You get good kill potential if you want to rotate over, but ultimately you can just leave him be. Enigma gets that solo XP. Quite nice. And this is, again, like Navi's bread and butter. There's no reason for them to do anything unique.
Other than this series doesn't matter, so now you can try out new stuff in the
No, that's you're thinking the wrong direction. You don't want to try out new stuff in a series that doesn't matter.
So
what if they get distracted by lights in the room and they're like, you know what, this would be more fun, and then they spend effort on that instead?
Yeah.
This team, you try to win games at Dota. I don't think it matters to them that things are locked up. They don't want to go up against VP with a loss and rely on this head-to-head tiebreaker thing. You know,
that's true. Wasting this series, you have to start talking about the series. Like, why did we lose this game? It's like, oh, why we, exactly. Just keep winning, keep going, get to playoffs. Because again, the way that this system is set up, playoffs is like in but broken. Getting #1 in your group stage in your region is just insanely good for you.
For sure. And for people that were curious, yes, Miroslav is playing still instead of So Bad for Team Spirit, a stand-in, but it seems to be the same scenario as stand-in as we see from No One in ASM Gambit, and also of, for example, Kezu for Viking. That type of stand-in. Miroslav instead of So Bad on the position 4. Just like the last 2 series they played.
In regards to Team Spirit opening with this Death Prophet, the times that they've run it before has always been in mid lane. They haven't really presented a flexibility of the hero going to off lane or 5. And of course, with an Oracle pick, it takes away that 5 flexibility. So I wouldn't be surprised if it simply is just going to be your 5 and your mid to open up the draft later on. In regards to Navi with their Spirit Enigma, you can see Team Spirit, they're banning out the strong position 5s now that provide that extra little bit of team fight. We've seen before how Navi's run the Naga position 5, you sing into Black Hole. It worked well for one game, worked really bad the next game, but still the idea of big team fight on top of a pre-existing, strong opening.
Interesting to remove the Ursa here in this second phase. Doesn't necessarily match up amazing, but I guess I can deal with Eidolons, and it is hard to kill with your ulti. It makes Malefice a lot weaker.
I think it's just a player targeted ban. Yatoro has looked a lot better on Ursa and on Wraith King than on some of the other ones that he has played in this tournament.
I know last time that Team Spirit played, we were pretty critical on Toronto Tokyo. Is there a specific type of hero you wish to see him on?
He's like one of those mid laners where he just plays the spirits very well. But I think for Toronto, he's a little bit more kind of hub driven, where he likes to go for the pickoffs that aren't really good pickoffs. I think if anything, we know his hero pool works well. Just kind of reel it back in a little bit, play with the team, and then he should be fine.
His performance has a lot of volatility in it, and you see that with some of the goals. Like if he finds the kill, maybe it was a good rotation, but he does have a lot of movements and teleports that I think are misguided, where you pretty much have to get a kill and like not use too many resources, and it's still kind of just breaking even. I'd rather him play a more conservative game.
We have also seen him on the Death Prophet, but we also see Miposhka on Death Prophet, so still very open. However, Oracle normally is Miposhka as well, so I guess they kind of made it no longer be open.
Yep, it's an offlaner or a mid here.
Yeah.
Which I think is necessary anyways, right? Like, because if you have an Oracle, it obviously makes Death Prophet so much stronger because of that guaranteed heal. So you don't want that to be like, oh, I can't wait to ulti my support Death Prophet who's going to do damage.
Exactly.
It's just going to leverage so much better if it's a core anyways.
Yeah, and if you're Navi here, they've already shown they don't want to be too kind of out of the box. So the only other opening that they've shown with this Spirit Enigma is now going to be the Disruptor in the second phase. The Naga was the other one before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just continue going down the same route of their draft.
No, I mean, first off, it's been working. And second, as we keep repeating, no reason to give VP any extra scouting information.
That's actually, very good point.
It's also really nice to actually do this because if you demonstrate a pattern throughout your last few games, most of the time, people will scout, but consider how long this DPC season is. It's really the only information teams will have to go on. So if they check out your Dota, if you're like, it's the same thing. Oh, Enigma into Disruptor or Naga. Well, all Navi have to do is practice a few times with a different third pick, or perhaps you third pick a core instead. You get the opportunity to be that step ahead.
But also, I like the fact that for Navi, that is, it's always their position 4 into offlane. No matter what pick the order they're doing, that's kind of the main kind of script that we see from them. And that's potentially where, if they've been practicing else, but kind of behind the officials, a different style, then that's, again, another thing that they can bring out. But Navi now needs to pick they go for the Crystal Maiden. Okay.
I feel like we haven't seen too many people pick CM without it being like a counter to these like summon type heroes. But
true.
I mean, I guess they don't even really know what the matchups are either, but it's a pretty generic pick, at least. It doesn't necessarily reveal too much. Good lane stabilization, mana is great on all these heroes, so.
5 seconds remaining.
It could also be a strong setup to potentially like that casual Juggernaut pick after. Team Spirit, if they want to pick one of these tankier off lanes, they can't do really well with that. I guess maybe the Mars ban, that's not really what's happening, because of course you wouldn't really ban Mars if you're picking Jug.
I don't think you Jug, honestly. Whenever I see Oracle on the enemy side, I want a carry that does sustain DPS. Jug's kind of the opposite. And sure, you might have an okay laning phase, but it's just real concerning if you're in a scenario where your Omni Slash can be tanked easily.
Okay.
And I like that a lot. That is your sustained damage. This hero is unbelievably powerful. Yes, it's been nerfed a bit, but that's mostly, I think, just the combination with heroes like Earthshaker. You have an Earth Spirit, which is one of my favorite combos to utilize with a morph. So much reach potential. It's very easy to get onto these backline supports. This is going to be a hellish existence for the Rubik Oracle once this morph is online.
5 seconds.
Yeah, but that's the key thing from Navi. It's about when they're online. They don't really have heroes that have strong dominance. They're good in their
Enigma doesn't come online quickly?
But wait. They're strong in their lanes, but like that's it. They don't like collapse onto the map, right? So that's the key thing here. Team Spirit, if you have overwhelming heroes react to the one Enigma, like one kind of Enigma playing into that lane, you can fight into it. So, like, yes, that point stands, Kyle.
Rubik Oracle is going to take over the map control, huh?
With DP rotating in, yeah, sure.
I'm not buying it. I think that you're gonna have a Necro 2 or 3. Oh, now that's a hero that can take over a map right there. The pace you can play with an anti-mage. Oh,
My point was
you gotta be
before-
so afraid. The speed of this draft.
Now you're just being a dick.
What?
Don't be a dick.
10 seconds remaining.
Me?
It's like yeah, you're being a little aggressive here. I think it's fine though. Tigov has good points. He's a smart guy. He can defend himself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You're maybe criticizing him for an AM pick that he didn't see on the board, but
Yeah, that's exactly. So anyway, so the anti-mage pick, it gives them a window to at least match up against the win condition, that is a morphling. But counter to the point that I made before the anti-mage pick, it now doesn't allow them to pressure that I maybe thought they were going to look to utilize against the weakness of Navi's lineup. They are now subscribing to the idea that they're going to play their lane.
Those are two of the most active supports in the game. Like CM Earth Spirit are the definition of getting shit done around the map. And Enigma,
I hope Iceberg is okay. He
he's
was
been listening to our conversation.
yeah,
He heard T-Gub's
I
point and was
think
like, oh my
so.
God, how did he get, what is even going on? Thank God he listens to the Russian broadcast. That's what's running through his mind. But no, anyway, you were saying, T?
Pick.
You were saying?
I kind of like the AM against the Enigma in some ways. Like you've got lots of magic resistance that'll offset some of the damage, but also you can get on top of Enigma when it's time to go. So if they do gank rotations on him, he's kind of vulnerable there, outside of like just black holing and getting TP
10
rotations.
seconds remaining.
This feels like one of those games where Team Spirit really rely on getting that Aegis, that first Aegis. If they contest that and can utilize the Death Prophet to unlock that for the anti-mage, you now don't care about anything that Navi has in the game. And of course, the laning phase is hard, but I want to touch on the fact that I mentioned beforehand, the idea of the tri-lanes and how they set up their game. If they still pick themselves a strong offlaner to deal with this Enigma, and then you put this anti-mage into a more aggressive position, it doesn't sound great, but at least unlocks your game to be a bit more...
Is this a strong offlaner?
Oh my God.
No.
What is...
Okay, so it works in the idea of defending
it's-
towers, but against the Morphling, it isn't great.
It's such a bad Sand King game. You have so many roots and silences and stuns to deal with. This is...
Remaining.
I don't even know.
I mean, they needed an initiator, and they needed somebody that can survive the lane.
Exactly.
And that's what we saw last time. The Sand King did bad, but maybe it'll do better this time.
Yeah, the key thing here is they want to be able to defend their towers, and they want to be able to at least take those bigger fights. Of course, Sand King can be pretty active.
I don't
but
know. Navi look really happy.
Yeah, of course
They
they
do.
are.
They're very happy.
Yes, they are in a difficult position, and that's naturally is what happens. When you pick an anti-mage, your draft is so 4v the world, and then you pick a Sand King who naturally isn't the most dominant of heroes right now. So yes, it is skeptical to look at Spirit's draft with confidence.
Yeah, it just feels like it's you have 3 support heroes, and you have a Death Prophet that, if you don't have ultimate up, won't really be very effective. So you need to somehow buy time for your anti-mage to take over. But ultimately, I don't even know if you have the late game. A BKB Enigma is still pretty damn terrifying. There's a Morphling. These 2 supports are going to be everywhere around the map. And now you add a Lycan. You talk about, like, this game is...
It's going to be
spooky.
pretty fast at this rate.
There's going to be 2 Necrobook 3s in a game, and one's pretty hard to deal with, and now you have 2 against an anti-mage.
Or Anti-Mage is going to get a nice early Battle Fury and farm all of those Necrobook units. Right, Purge? Is there a chance?
I mean, yeah, he'll be able to kill the Necros a little bit, but they're also going to be running down the 2 supports, Oracle and Rubik, who can't do anything about them running at him. Like, they actually have pretty crappy AoE, so dealing with all the summon stuff outside of like Death Prophet and Sand King is going to be kind of mitigated. So I assume Navi's just going to get some advantage and just start map pressuring and run down their opponents.
Yeah, this anti-mage pick really scuppered everything, eh, lads?
Yeah.
Its ability to make plays has kind of gone out the window.
Me and T were trying to have a moment. We were,
well, I figured I want to join in.
And I'm the
We were
short guy.
agreeing on
Correct.
stuff.
Team Spirit is also the short guy in this scenario because they have an uphill battle against what is a
And the
very
re-
hard draft from Navi.
They may have played themselves. I can sort of see where T-Gov was going.
Yeah.
The
Before
pressure-
the anti-mage pick.
But
they picked
then-
anti-mage.
Then they picked Anti-Mage and Sand King, and Navi last picked the Lycan. So, I learned from Team Liquid, right? When in doubt, you last pick Lycan. You now will have these double Necro 3s, as T said. Your Morph is going to be laning mid be just fine. You have like a 20 damage advantage at like level 3. You need to absolutely trash these lanes. Sand King has to demonstrate it's a real hero, which I don't believe it is.
Okay.
And somehow you'll win. But like, you make one mistake, you've lost tier 2, you've lost Outpost, you've lost Roche, and then the game's over.
Uphill battle for Team
Uphill.
Spirit then.
This is climbing Kilimanjaro.
This is that's
without
a
any
pretty tough
rations.
climb, and there's definitely a lot of people that died trying to do that without gear. We'll find out if Team Spirit is up to the task here with their draft. Let's just see how this game plays out, shall we? Let's head over to OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, game 1 of Navi versus Spirit. And Fogged, what do you make of this? We did see Navi having a bit of a smile on their face after they saw the Sand King, and they knew that they were going to respond with the Lycan. It seems like they're probably feeling pretty confident off the back of this draft. Do you think Spirit are matching that confidence, or do you think they're going to be feeling that they're in quite a tough spot here?
I would be... If they feel like they're in a comfortable spot, I'm concerned for their understanding, I guess, in a way, because this... I can't believe they picked the AM into this, and then they picked Sand King. These heroes are extremely weak laners. Just to emphasize, like, extremely weak. Sand King, I haven't seen it really work. And just bring up some stats from our great JJ, of course. Anti-Mage currently, like, 32% win rate overall in the DPC. EU CIS, 33%. Sand King, actually around that 50%, so not as bad as it does seem. But I am not also a big fan of the Sand King. I've seen people trying a lot of different builds, Aghanims, Rush, and whatnot. It just feels like it's just weak. It's just not a strong hero. Can't apply decent pressure. And yeah, I'm really worried about how they're going to actually take any buildings or objectives or anything. I feel like the whole game is revolved around Toronto, Tokyo.
We'll see how well he does. He's going to have this matchup mid against Iceberg on the Lycan. I mean, can the Death Prophet bully the Lycan out of the lane, or is Lycan sort of just strong enough to be able to deal with any aggression from the DP, even though he is melee?
He's Lycan. He's always going to just get his own farm. Can't actually push him away, unfortunately. You might be able to come out ahead in the matchup as this the Death Prophet, especially if you can kill off some wolves, luckily. But Lycan's going to be able to get his farm. He's going to get his timings. And Navi is really about timings this game. Getting these double book 3s, super quick, pushing down lanes. It's so effective versus heroes like Death Prophet, versus heroes like Oracle and Sand King. That's for the reasons why we feel like Navi just have significantly won this draft.
I mean, what is sort of the scenario that Spirit could come out on top of this? Is it just all about making space for the AM and ensuring that this anti-mage is able to sort of get his first 2 items online a lot faster than the Morphling?
God, I'm honestly not too sure because I don't know what Sanking's purpose of overall in the game is going to be. I don't know how he's going to be able to set up for defenses. It's just, I don't know when they're actually going to be able to take a fight versus Navi. Like, Navi's going to bring 4 heroes, and their 4 heroes are going to be infinitely stronger than the 4 that Spirit brings, because the anti-mage won't be looking to get involved, and Sanking overall just not a strong hero. So he's going to have to be a frontlining Sanking versus a overwhelming amount of damage that's going to come out from books that just counter the hero. I don't see an item timing for where AM wins this game, where AM just takes over. They at least have like Rubik to counteract the Enigma and stuff like that, but I don't know when Yatoro is just like, damn, I feel good. Like, maybe it's like the abyssal timing, but you're not going to get there versus Lycan and Enigma.
Oh, we'll see. So far, bottom lane, Roger. He's looking for the body blocks on Mirror as they chase him with the Eidolons, but Mirror will be fine.
So lane swaps have been going on. V-Tune makes his way bottom to lane versus Sanking. AM means that Yotoro's going to get a free time top, which, hey, that's a good sign for Spirit. And I'm seeing General, he's actually staying around here. He's just jungling on the side with his Eidolons for now, waiting to see if he does TP toward top. So at least that's a good sign for Spirit. They've got the AM in a non-pressure lane, so he'll get free farm.
Yeah, I mean, General just opting to sort of completely stick to the jungle down it. That's bottom. Roger. Another setup onto Collapse, but he has the Burrow Strike still. There's just this pressure causing Collapse to really find nothing at all from this bottom lane. Very hard for him to step up and farm.
He's actually just he's really getting no last hits at all. He's not slowing down the Morphling either. V-Tune's getting free farm.
Oh, and he's losing his courier. That was his boots as well.
Oh, no. This is one of the weakest lanes, I feel like, in Dota at the moment. Like, Rubik is very weak still, even though he has Fade Bolt that's gotten buffed so many times and all that. Sanking he doesn't do anything in lane, really. Unless you're going caustic and you're applying pressure in the lane on the off lane, that's the only way that I feel like Sanking can actually be played decently right now. Otherwise, you just get ran at, and detection is your absolute counter. That's Mira.
Oh, Roger. Gets the slow, but not wanting to commit for the stun under the tower. We've got the 4 heroes down there, though. 4 heroes down bottom. I mean, you know, you thought Secret knew how to do it aggressive with the tri-lane. You know, Navi's bringing the aggressive quad lane. We will see it get broken up.
They're going to break it now. General is going to move. Collapse. They'll try to kick him out of the Sandstorm. He's actually still in it, so damage is still being applied, but they're just hitting him right back. And he's still unable to really get many last hits. V-Tune, 24-10.
But it is a free farm anti-mage. I mean, this is
free farm.
You know, this is Navi saying, right, that they don't care. They don't care about this anti-mage. Yep. They're saying it's not going to cause any problems for them. And this is going to be interesting to see if you know this read from Navi that anti-mage's farm doesn't matter at this moment is indeed the correct approach. I mean, you could definitely understand why if they feel that you know their game is so solid elsewhere and just making sure that they have this perfect setup for V-Tune.
Mira, they'll get him the first blood. Roger will actually get it. But I think this, like, I usually see when I see like AM's gonna take over a game and AM's gonna be the win condition and he's gonna be that ultimate carry in the entire game. It's usually when he's playing versus something that's just an excellent mana void target. I don't really see that excellent mana void target at all in the game. And there's so many silences, so many roots, controls, stuns that it is gonna be there for the AM. And definitely when it's gonna start collapsing, because Navi, all this like calm kind of stuff here, it's gonna start ramping up so quick in the next 5 minutes.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll be able to catch that kill that we didn't quite grab earlier. It's top Yatoro. Gonna beat back General. General is completely out of mana regen, just those Sage's masks. So we'll slow down his farming potential whilst he's on this top half of the map. Mid lane, 30-10, 27 for 12. Continues to be very close between the two of them. As you say, we'll see what sort of moves Spirit can make around Toronto, Tokyo when they start to look for these objectives and start to put the pressure on to continue to sort of keep Navi's focus away from Yatoro.
I feel like they should actually make a rotation to mid with like the Oracle or with the Rubik right now. I feel like it has to be done immediately though. This catapult is dying. He has his catapult. He has ult. Iceberg just hit 6, so they can't actually set up for a kill maybe, but they can at least pressure the tower.
Sure.
Probably can take almost all of it down. So I like that we see Miposhka rotating over. He's going to get scouted by wolves, but he'll at least be able to secure the rune unless the wolf kills it. It does not, and now tower pressure comes out. So good moves from Spirit.
Yeah, and I guess this is the thing as well for Spirit this game. Now, Navi, they don't necessarily have some sort of big, beefy hero that they could just sort of plant in front of a tower to easily stop Spirit from pushing.
No, they have to actually rotate and fight. So we see CM is running over, always want to fly. Roger TP's in. They got to slow this down. Catapult is doing significant damage. Still on the tower. But damage is done. 3 heroes rotate. I think Team Spirit's pretty happy with that.
It's good pressure there with the first ult.
And AM is able to get this free farm. Top starting to get pushed away a little bit because of some Eidolons, starting to get some farm denied too, but his timings are looking good.
I mean, it is going to be a good battle for your timing. You know, you've got to consider, you know, for Spirit, when they pick the anti-mage, you know, he's getting the start that you pretty much dream of, right? So this is really going to be the chance for Spirit to show us that that anti-mage was the correct call here. Because he's having a perfect start. He's having a perfect start.
I'm worried because Collapse is getting nothing, though. He's got 21 last hits down here. He's at level 5. He's at least got that for himself, but he still feels like a bit of a liability into this lane. He's easily killable if he steps out of Sandstorm almost at all. And Yatoro, it's like he's gonna get Battle Fury, but he's not gonna be able to join anything. He's gonna be able to cut creep waves and stuff like that because Navi's gonna start pushing really hard, probably right now. The book 1 is up.
Well, we're looking to try and charge in onto Toronto Tokyo. He's able to dodge the stun. TPs are coming in. He gets the siphons out. He's going to have backup here from Impostor and Mirror. As Toronto Tokyo is able to hold his ground. Navi, they can't finish off the kill, and they've dove in too deep. As Roger will get punished here. A very aggressive move there, trying to go in onto the Death Prophet. I mean, that's never really going to be an easy hero to dive upon when all the siphon charges are good to go.
Especially not when there's an Oracle in the game, too. Miposhka with some nice positioning. He dispels the Malefice mini stuns. That'll always be something we have to watch out for too. He can protect a lot for this Oracle. And we did say, you know, Toronto Tokyo, he has to have a good game. If his game starts to crumble at all, that's where it's really just going to be all fronts getting pushed down.
Sure. Like if he's dying behind his tier 1 and they're not able to save him, then things it could potentially fall out of control rather quickly.
Exactly. Yeah. He has to have a good game. And I like that they're bringing the 3 heroes to play around him, really putting the focus onto this tower and putting the focus and making Navi react. Like, this tower is going to die.
Yep, 8 minutes in.
Might even lose a hero.
All right, they got the setup here. On to always want to fly. Follow up route as Toronto Tokyo is able to get in position, take the kill, take the tower. So 8 minutes in. You got to say, you know, for Spirit, this has got to be going to plan for them in their mind, right? They're taking the objective mid, and Yatoro, he is getting free farm on the anti-mage.
Yeah, this is definitely good signs right now. He's very close to Battle Fury.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good time
for himself too. He does. Yeah, they're actually stacking up as well for him too. So they actually missed the hard camp or the medium camp there on the Ogre, but we did see Miposhka setting up some other stacks. So AM is going to be enabled. Yeah, good signs for Spirit. And now eyes on Toronto Tokyo to dictate where the next moves really are. Because, like I said, everything is him this game for Team Spirit. All his rotations have to be real smooth and really perfect.
I mean, where would you imagine that the most appealing move is to be made? Is it down bottom or up top?
Bottom is where the battle's going to go, so maybe he's a little cautious until his supports get more levels. I think once Oracle gets 6, then Death Prophet can play bottom safer. Top is the less risky choice for Toronto Tokyo, because he'll get that tower if he goes up there. Bottom, he might die and use his ult, so I think he has to be a little cautious. It's up to him which choice he wants to do. I think if he has Oracle 6, though, he should go bottom. I mean, Pushka is going to be close with the Tome at 10 minutes. Rune's coming out. Will be killed by the wolf.
Tis mine.
And how's our books looking? So Iceberg, book 2 finished. General, book 1 finished.
All right. So they're coming online, but we are, of course, seeing pretty much perfect timing on the Battle Fury. 10-minute Battle Fury here for Yatoro. Nice. Well, there we go. Actually, the fastest that we've seen this patch out of the 51 games. So again,
a little bit though. We've seen some quick ones.
Let's top. General. He's got to be careful. Bottom lane, the Collapse is actually he's gonna leave bottom. Navi's got 4 down. His Spirit immediately take everybody up to the top lane. So maybe see if they can enable something and find an opportunity for Yatoro to get in and take a kill with a Mana Void.
Oh, they can dive General for sure. General eats the catapult, so now the push is going to be slowed down significantly.
Oh, he's getting out.
This.
Yeah.
He's getting out.
straight away, as Spirit won't
Tokyo
find anything
rotating
up
too.
here.
Yeah, the Death Prophet started walking through the ward, so I think he's like, okay, there's more people back here. And we're seeing Tokyo go for Witchblade. Okay. Seen him do this a couple times now on the Death Prophet.
I mean, and with the urn, it's a lot of damage, right? Toronto Tokyo just committing onto a target. Especially if they're diving in on him. If he's able to keep himself alive with the Siphons, which, is likely, he has an Oracle backing him up, so he can go for this more, the aggressive option with that early item.
Yeah, it tanks him up. I think that's the other important thing that I always like. Euls in these type of games, you're playing versus the Book 3, so it's not as valuable as it can get purged. So now Witchblade, it just tanks him up through that high physical damage that Lycan's going to be providing, and he's got Oracle at the back of him. Yeah, it can definitely be nice. This is pretty good stuff from here from Spirit. Now, looking to set up around mid, Navi surrounding, almost Book 3 online from Iceberg. And that's where Sanking's life just becomes absolutely miserable. It's already been pretty rough for Collapse this game.
Navi.
He's defending mid.
Roger. He's going to be able to get the roll in straight away onto Collapse. They jump forward with V-Tune. He finds the Burrow Strike onto the two of them as he comes straight in onto Toronto Tokyo and Mirror. They blow up the Death Prophet and they follow up with the Rubik kill as well. Quick moves there from Navi as they sweep across, and V-Tune, excellent Burrow Strike to close the gap on that all-important target, getting the jump on the Death Prophet.
The Collapse has to always be careful of that. That's more reasons why Sanking's is not great, especially when like Rubik's, Morphlings, etc. are always in the game. Just Burrow Strike very easy to utilize, and one death, that's one on Tokyo. I feel like he can't have too many more in this game. His AM is still getting all the space in the world, but his game feels like it has to go well too. AM can't win this game by himself.
We'll see this again. Solid lead in, and then V-Tune straight across. And then, of course, at this moment in time, no potential backup. He had Oracle down on the bottom lane picking up levels. They weren't ready for that jump at all, Spirit.
Yeah, they actually gave the Tome to Mira this game so that the Rubik could get 6. Mipushka's going to struggle to find it. It's 13 minutes, and he's just...
Oh, Iceberg. Iceberg, he was hanging around. He's going to pop the ult. Is he actually going to be able to get away from this? He isn't. They've got the damage. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. He was just...
very alone.
What was he doing? Yeah, he was just chilling in the jungle. Top lane, they will be able to find and catch Yatora. So a core for a core. Navi still able to punch back.
And that's, we're mentioning a lot of disables, why the AM game also still looks difficult, as he is getting the farm, but 3 points in Frostbite, always want to fly. He knows the target that he needs to kill this game, the most important one. Who cares about Crystal Nova? Just max Frostbite, and we see Roger. He's going to have max Boulder soon. So always the ways to catch the AM if Yataro's not careful. Easy ways to set up on him. And they still have Black Hole. General didn't have to use it up there. And yeah, second Book 3 is about to be finished up. So Roche probably going to get forced from Navi soon, and I don't believe the Team Spirit would like to fight around there. That's just asking to get destroyed when the 2 books are finished.
We'll see this kill again. Excellent setup from Roger. And that's kind of going to be how it is at the moment for Yatora. If they get the jump on him, he will die. V-Tune, he's taking away some of these Ancients.
They're actually pushing him out of his triangle and taking the big Ancients. Oh, Mira will at least secure one of them. But Mipushka gets eaten very quickly here by the Book 3s. And yeah, this is where the big, Navi has hit their timing. So the double Book 3s are online. Morphling is ready to fight. He almost has Manta, so he's super ready to fight. And they're taking all the stacks. The worst nightmare for anti-mage as your triangle has been stolen.
I mean, Navi, they're ready to fight here. Spirit, go for the Spirit. I mean, they're gonna step into this, try and jump onto V-Tune. And Navi's gonna turn. V-Tune, he's straight back over with the Burrow Strike on a Collapse. He's stuck in there. He can't get out. He goes down. Yatora's looking for Roger on the back lines. They will find the Earth Spirit in return. Iceberg and General chase for anything more here. The Eidolon's out onto Mira. As the 4 of Navi are just chasing them up to the high ground. V-Tune, he won't dive for this though.
1 for 1, Collapse, he reveals that Blink Dagger and immediately dies for it. So he's very squishy. He's gone for this build where you can hopefully get resets and stuns up, but you're going to be
Toronto Tokyo stepping out.
Tokyo's, oh no, he's surrounded.
Oh my goodness, Iceberg, he's in on him. And with these summons, Toronto Tokyo's got no chance. No chance at all there. I guess just didn't quite expect Navi to sweep across the mid lane after sitting in the triangle, but they were ready to move Navi as soon as he steps up towards that river. They're right behind him.
look at Navi's wards that they've got. The ward that they just placed on that far left after the fight is going to give them excellent vision to be able to set up for Roche. And then this south one that they have inside the Radiant jungle, it just sees him running by himself. They catch it, and they're looking for the next kill. And if they find another kill, that's probably going to be the Roche setup for them, as they'll kill it in no time. And Tokyo, you know, this is what we're saying. You know, 1 or 2 deaths, they can cost so much in this game as a death prophet.
And Yatoro just he needs more time, but it's not as if it's a game where time's necessarily only going to be favoring him.
No, it's not, as he's playing versus quite a decent tricore versus an anti-mage as well. And he's really about, like I said, you know, that it's an abyssal timing, really. It's not even like Basher, it feels like, will be the timing that gets him online to be able to join into everything. So he has a ways to go.
Dire are scanning.
As Navi's just, yeah, it's going to be constantly looking for fights, getting deep wards down, covering their deep vision, looking for scans, looking for pickoffs. If they ever find Yatoro, if they ever find Death Prophet, it's just mounds of space for V-Tune to just pull further and further ahead. I like V-Tune's build. It's just straight Manta, cover himself for the silence as a control, and then Scotty to counteract the healing that is going to be coming out from Oracle and Death Prophet. Really strong stuff coming out from Navi right now. 2k veg.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We're going to go for the trade, Spirit.
Are fortified.
Tokyo goes for the bots as well, too. So
It seems like it was rather a greedy build.
greedy. Yeah. At least he's speedy to at least distance himself and stuff like that from this crazy catch, but really feels like he needs BKB. If he gets caught by anything, he's just dead. They'll get some nice push top. The setup is coming. We see Roger TP tier 3. Sending the book to counteract the vision, and then they're going to start setting up with the rest. But the tower's dead.
If they can get everyone out of this, this is going to be a sweet move, and they do. Oh, Yatoro!
Oh my god.
A bit of a close one, but yeah, Spirit, they get the tower, and they get out. And Iceberg even popping the ult there to try and find a catch, but it wasn't to be the case. Spirit are able to back out in time.
Yeah, Navi a bit slow, and Spirit just a bit too quick for them. They didn't get time to take away the outpost, but whatever. They just wanted the tower, and they just want more space, more time for Yatoro, who almost at least has Manta. And then he can fight with the Manta. You know, I am saying where he needs probably like the Basher Abyssal to be relevant to fight. He can show up with Manta. I don't know how much he's going to be able to actually do with it. Basher will at least let him kill targets, stick on Lycan or Morphling.
Well, Toronto Tokyo. He's going in.
He's charging in.
He's got to be careful. There's a whole lot of Na'Vi up here. The whole team.
He's got the Oracle backup, so he's always feeling a little extra confident to go a little more aggressive. Collapse is spotted. This deep ward that they do have at the moment. They're sending the wolves actually into tower vision. Okay, he's gonna kill the range creep. Maybe revealed the fact that there's a ward though, but they'll be able to set themselves up for that Roche that we were expecting for some time.
Now this is gonna put the Iceberg very close to having that AC on this gold.
Oh, he did do the... Okay, so he went the straight rush. I've seen a lot of... Well, I've actually seen 2 different builds. It's either Necrobook Drum into AC or Necrobook AC. So he just wants to go for ending the game and putting that pressure as soon as possible. As they can. You know, they can probably end the game with this Aegis. They can look to at least take a Rax down as Yatoro's still not ready. Doesn't have Manta at least.
Na'Vi nearly catching a glimpse there of the Spirit. Toronto Tokyo's hiding in the trees. V-Tune's hunting. He's able to find him. Trees will be cleared out though, and Toronto Tokyo's away. This aggression definitely going to continue here from Na'Vi.
Iceberg pops the ult just to farm and swing around, it looks like.
I did find always want to fly here, but a little scared of actually committing on him. And the rest of Na'Vi were sweeping back.
Hey, Yatoro, so it looks like he's actually going to get away with getting the item, though. If he gets faster, he can show up to the fights. Like I was saying, though, it is still an anti-mage where he is starting to get left a bit alone on the net worth. You see his Death Providence tanking starting to fall pretty far behind, especially Collapse. He literally is just going to be a blink and a stun for the most part. If he gets caught by any silence disable, he's dead right afterwards.
And it very much is what, at this point now, with the items that Na'Vi have, that if Spirit lose one fight, They're at least losing a set of racks.
Yeah. Yatoro's getting the split push, though, and he's got a catapult behind him, so they actually have to react to top. General does have to get back. He probably wants to try to surprise him with the blink dagger, but Yatoro's able to jump away.
Under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Or collapse. They're getting caught there. They might still have a chance to get in as VTune is able to find the angle here. The burrow strike out to the two of them. And Poshka has been silenced. They're going to be able to take him down before he can get any sort of save off. They turn over towards collapse. Na'Vi, they'll get the two of them. Quick moves, and again, VTune just being a better Sand King than Collapse has been able to do himself this game, really, so far.
It's so sick, the plays that you can make. Mid waveform morphs and burrow strikes, so it's like you can't actually do anything to prevent that. As he's still, it looked like he's still in the waveform as the burrow strike cast, so you just get hit by it. And Miposhka, he has to be careful with his positioning. There's so many different ways for Na'Vi to get into the back line.
DD Rune as well awaits on the bottom.
VTune will love that, as he's one component away from that Scotty. Now up to a 4K gold lead. Yatoro's still top of that net worth. But as we said, he's kind of in an island. Tokyo almost has a BKB at the very least, so he'll be protected, but I'm just still watching the Sand King, as it really feels like he's just such a liability.
We'll see this again, this sweet move here from VTune. As he's ready to chase. Eyes up collapse. Instantly in, and as you say, just incredibly fluid from the waveform into the burrow strike.
I think there's a bug or something going on too. Mira stole burrow strike from Morphling, but he didn't cast it, and now I'm clicking on him and he can't use it.
Wait, what?
Look at the portrait, it's grayed out.
I think that's just a visual bug though, isn't it?
Is it just a visual bug? Because why didn't he cast it in the last fight then?
True. Well, wasn't he silenced last fight by Roger?
Did he actually get clipped? Okay, maybe he did get
He might have got clipped by the silence. Well, we'll see. I mean, as you said, if that's
I don't know
true,
why it's grayed out though. That makes it look weird to me, but...
No, absolutely, but that... I mean, hopefully it's a visual bug.
I hope it is.
But at the same time, well, I guess you're stealing a spell from a hero that doesn't exist anymore because he's no longer the hero, but that shouldn't matter. That should not matter.
It shouldn't matter, because we've seen that all the time when Morphling takes like 8 for Remnant and then Rubik steals from the Morphling. And...
But you play a bit of Rubik, right? You know, you must have stolen spells from Morph. That's never happened to you where you've lost the ability to use the spell. That's why I feel like there's got to be a visual thing. I think that's probably a spectator thing. We'll see. Keep eyes on him. See if he burrow strikes.
It's an important ability too. I mean, it doesn't have that much duration left, but it's huge versus Morph. It's an extra form of catch and stun, so...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Scotty done. We're going to see collapse. He's going to try. He's able to find the catch onto Iceberg. Closes the gap. They'll get the kill. Nicely done.
They do have to commit 2 ultis for it, though. That was the Epi and the X.
They might get another kill out of it, though. It's always want to fly. He's going to be found. Okay. Everything being thrown down onto the poor CM there to make sure she weren't TPing out. As they'll get the kill.
It's heavy commitment of ults, though. 30 seconds, I think Na'Vi, they should identify that. They can even look for the fight maybe right now on Tokyo. Those ults are everything for them.
Hang on. Indeed, yeah, Roger. He's looking to get in on this, but he's not able to connect the stun. He's kicked back here, but Toronto Tokyo chasing him into the trees. The rest of Spirit are making their way over. Now, Na'Vi maybe looking at turns. They're jumping onto Toronto Tokyo. He's going to put the BKB, but this damage from the Morph and the Illusions, it's a lot. Toronto Tokyo's got to keep his distance. Shitoro comes in. In fact, he's ready to chase. He's moving on to VTune. VTune's trying to get out. Oh, turns into the AM, uses the spell shield against him there as he reflects the burrow strike. And now Iceberg is going to try and run down Yatoro. Blinks up in a second. So Yatoro's out, but Toronto Tokyo goes down.
They chased a bit too far. Now they're getting turned on from the chase from the side of Na'Vi. Collapse. Will be able to scurry his way back to base, but they lose Tokyo. And now ultis are down. Let's see what VTune looks with this time window here. No Exorcism, no Epicenter. And they see Yatoro pushing top. Looks like they're actually maybe hunting for him. Spirit's putting up a much better fight than I'd expected them to do at this point.
They really are. I mean, it's a sort of was made out by the panel. When you look to Navi's draft, it's pretty terrifying. But at the end of the day, you know, Spirit were given the space for Yatoro up top. You know, the sort of the weight on him now to be that carry that's going to be able to stand toe to toe with Na'Vi, and he's finding some opportunities here. And I always want to fly. Glimmer Cape Should be enough to save him.
Nice stuff from Mira. Look at this. He's even body blocking. He's scouting a lot with the Wolf at the moment so that they can at least get some vision. I like that. You know, he even has the Wolf bottom to check out the bounty rune as well as the Ancients on the opposing side too. So some extra information that Team Spirit does definitely need in the game.
Yeah. I mean, and now that you've seen the game play out to this point, 26 minutes in, I mean, is it still a very hard anti-mage game when you look at the position everything is in right now, or is it okay for Yatoro? Or do you do feel it's still very difficult for this hero to really win?
It's starting to feel pretty okay. I'm a little worried just because he is alone, so there is a lot of elements that he has to deal with. The Sanking's still behind. Death Prophet, he has been forced to go for BKB. But he's got a chance of carrying this game. If Navi makes too many slip-ups, like this AM might be able to do it. He's still alone, though. That's the most important thing, is there's a lot of silence and a lot of control that Navi does have. And at some point, Navi, they might just be able to full commit onto the AM in a lot of situations. Like a BKB Black Hole, if they have the Rubik killed, they can just full commit onto him.
I mean, and that's the thing as well. In these fights, you know, what's Yatoro going to be looking to do? Is he trying to jump on one of these cores, or is he just trying to get the quick kills on supports to start things off?
I think you go for Enigma. Like General's build, since he's gone just for Blink and Necrobook, he's very susceptible to this anti-mage. If he gets a bash on him with the Mantop, he'll kill him immediately with the Mana Void and with the Illusions. So I think you try to just keep tabs on General in the fights.
We'll see Navi coming in with the 5-man smoke.
Positioning is so important in these fights. Miposhka, Mira, they have to be so far in the back. If they get caught out first, these fights are going to be disastrous for Spirit. They have to keep the Oracle protected.
Mira.
He'll be the one to run into it.
Oh, they're actually playing past him here, as they will get the kill on Rubik, but at the same time, Roger was able to lead in and get the connection onto Collapse. Toronto Tokyo opting to hold his ground here with the BKB and the Exorcism. Yatoro, he's over onto Vici and he's burning the mana, but the Black Hole's out. They're able to just control the anti-mage. The save's there from Miposhka with the false promise. Yatoro, he's doing his best to try and get out of there. The TP from Miposhka's going to get cancelled. Collapse, he's able to get back, but indeed the damage was far too much during the Black Hole as Yatoro ends up going down anyway.
And that's all General has to do every single one of these fights, is just Black Hole the anti-mage as soon as he sees the opportunity from disables, and they did have all the perfect disables taken out. Rubik gets killed at the start, Roger commits, forces the Sanking initiation on him, and then Death Prophet's isolated and already used silence, so General gets free moves and just a free fight for Navi. Perfect wraparound.
Navi was mid, Roger.
Another one.
He's able to get him, find the setup onto Collapse. Can they get Collapse out of it? He'll buy some time for himself with the Yules, and it's enough. He's able to jump his way back up to the high ground.
Fight's still looking impossible. I thought that would be the one where AM might be able to do something and he just gets caught in the Black Hole. And that's right after Abyssal Blade too. He can't find the catches. Not
oh, hang on, Iceberg.
To get the wraparound. Iceberg
He's
again.
farming creeps here behind the tier 2. He's going to die for that. What? I mean, he had BKB ready to pop. He didn't. And now Navi's got to, they've got to back off. I mean, that was incredibly greedy from him there, trying to pick up creeps between the tier 2 and the tier 3.
He had a split second on the BKB. He still had 2 seconds left on it when they jumped him, or 3 seconds. I think he was playing around his BKB timing, and he literally just got caught at the perfect window. Like, look, I think we're going to see
it again. Yeah, you're right.
BK, yeah,
he didn't quite have it ready to pop.
But that's still such a greedy place to be for Iceberg. But you know what? That is a very Iceberg move that we've seen him do a couple times.
He knows. He's like, oh dear.
He's back up in 15, and Spirit's trying to take advantage of that fact. They don't have Exorcism, though, so their fight on Spirit not as strong as they'd like it to be.
Now, Roshan's
Blink on Mira.
Up. I mean, there's, maybe with the Exorcism they could try, but it still seems kind of difficult when Navi's up as 5.
Navi has such good ward coverage in the area, too. It's so important. It's just like they have to keep these supports protected. I actually think Mira has to sit so far out of the fight and just has to steal the Black Hole, because they have the BKB now in Enigma, so he has to be the one to do so, since AM's not going to get the opportunity like that.
There we go.
Spirit, if they can get the start, if they can start the fight off, there's a chance.
See what sort of jump they can get. There we go, immediately. They're going to find Roger up on the cliff. Roger, he's still able to roll his way out over to the side. V-Tune committing him with a burst. You've got the jump from Yatoro. He's in on the Enigma. And he's got the Mana Void combos. He takes out General and Roger. Double kill for Yatoro. And now they're going to look to Iceberg. Iceberg, He's turning towards Yatoro, blinks back up. He's away, but Iceberg, he's starting to clean up a bit. Turns towards Toronto Tokyo. As Toronto Tokyo is trying to get out of it. The ult comes to an end on Iceberg. As Toronto Tokyo, he'll be able to make it away.
Nice jump from Spirit. They found General. He didn't quite have Black Hole up anyway at the time, but yeah, AM finds him, abyssals him, quickly pops him with that Mana Void. Good moves coming out. Nice hit.
Yeah, with those kills, it's going to get him closer towards that butterfly. I mean, evasion is going to be pretty huge this game. I mean, he's already having a nice time with that cloak that he's found in the neutral items. But adding butterfly, because nobody's going to be able to build True Strike, right? You definitely don't want an MKB on the Morph, and you don't want it on the Lycan either, but you may have to if this anti-mage continues to be as big as he is.
The Black Hole is still going to kill him. The pure damage, if he gets caught in it, he still will die. He's still quite fragile. But yeah, they're both going to have butterflies because V2's also got his finish. So it's going to be a little bit of evasion action on both fronts. As Team Spirit, Tokyo, he saved his ult in the last fight. He's level 20.
All right.
Got Shiva's guard. He's got the 400 HP taunt. He's pretty strong right now.
This jump might catch Na'Vi off guard. Na'Vi actually coming themselves with the smoke. Toronto Tokyo leading the way here. Super deep wraparound. Na'Vi won't expect it to come in from this direction.
Catches General.
Yes, the perfect start, right? Take away the Enigma, take away the threat of the Black Hole, and now look to move over for more. V-Tune, he's able to come in with a burrow strike onto the two of them, though. Can he bring them down? He's able to bring down the Rubik. Now turns over towards Toronto Tokyo, but the BKB and the Ghosts are out. Iceberg pocket the BKB as they all focus down the Death Prophet, and they'll get that kill. Yatoro, he's got to back off now, with three of them dead. Miposhka also left behind. Na'Vi not needing General to win that fight. As Yatoro, he's sticking around, and the rest of the team very far away, though, so they won't be able to catch in on him.
How did this fight just went so disastrous, and they just had straight number advantage, just too clumped up. V-Tune, again, like you said, he's being the better Sand King this game. He's getting these beautiful stuns and then beautiful follow-ups from Roger. That was surprising, though. Na'Vi, with the man down, just completely destroy the fight. Miposhka, I see him pinging as well. He's probably talking about the fight to his team. He got split up to the top right of the fight, and he actually couldn't get to Tokyo because he's still level 11. It's still the level 1 ult, so that cast range, not so great. Couldn't actually get there for the save onto the Death Prophet.
Oh, very nicely done from Na'Vi, responding as quickly as they did. You know, sure, when you're making the jump on the Enigma, you're showing your hand. And Na'Vi, they knew exactly how to fight back. As it really was, yeah, Toronto Tokyo just, they were able to do it in a way that they were just able to fully focus down this Death Prophet, and nothing could be done to save him.
Yeah, the Scotty is honestly just owning so hard from V-Tune. The healing reduction and just the slow through BKB it's so good versus these ranged heroes as well. As we see, you know, Death Prophet, you just crawl. You get hit once and you're actually just crawling in the fight.
Illusion.
Of course, we see Yatoro going for that Skadi himself next.
That means he's not going to solve the butterfly problem where, you know, V-Tune has butterfly. He doesn't have his own True Strike.
That is true.
But he probably feels too squishy. Like, he's 1900 HP. You know, this is the problem with Anti-Mage. He's got this beautiful kit of inventory. We're like, wow, you know, he's gotten away with his farm, but he's still squishing the fights. A couple of hits actually do hit with him. Sure, he's got 25 armor, but there's different forms of pure damage and whatnot coming from Enigma.
And for Collapse, you know, as you say, still very much trying to pick up the pace here on the Sand King. Is this just the way he has to go? He has to get a BKB for himself. Iceberg is going to be caught alone.
He's dead. He doesn't even get time to get the cheese off.
It's a tasty bit of gold there. As always want to float. He's out. He's out. It's a close one. Very close.
At least Collapse will have his BKB.
He's got the money. He's going to change it up, actually. I was going to say.
I was about to ask, if he should go Lincoln's or Lotus or something to protect himself from the steal, to protect
this
from
is much
more.
nicer.
This is good to protect his AM, too. We'll be able to dispel some of the stuff as well, too. Some of these roots and all these annoying things. Dispel the silences. I like this. He shouldn't be playing his own game at this point, because this game has been, it's tough. You know, it's your Sand King. You need to be playing about, you know, the greater all.
Ooh. Having a bit of a look into the action there, but unable to find a jump. It would be nice to do something whilst Iceberg's down for 30, but
How many BKBs do we have on Navi now? Iceberg has one, Morphling has one, Earth Spirit has one, and Enigma has
That's a
one.
lot.
So quad BKB at the ready versus the Sand King.
They've nearly got 5. I think always want to fly was queuing him one up, wasn't he?
He's close, yeah. He was getting close. He has the Philly Stone as well. So they're going to have 5 BKBs.
5
in the
BKBs?
next few minutes. That's great versus AM. Don't need to worry about obnoxious mana burning one out, as long as you get it off before you're bashed. But that'll protect them a lot in the fights. That does hurt AM's damage output quite a bit too. As General's getting away with his farm too. He's got that BKB. He's going to be getting that Lincolns, and then it's going to be even harder for Mira. Hasn't been able to find the successful steals yet onto the Black Hole. Then General is just full protected. He'll be able to just every single time, just BKB Black Hole onto that AM.
Are you a fan of this as well on the AM, taking the cooldown talent over the boosted magic resistance?
I think he's just thinking that he needs as much as possible, and he is going Scotty, so he'll have mana for multiple mana voids.
Okay.
And I guess magic he's not dying to magic damage. He's
Sure,
dying pure and physical.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, that's true.
I think he needs to do so much heavy lifting in it that he needs 2 mana voids probably in the fight. So
The river Mira. Almost got the waveform. Is he able to get away from this? No, there's no chance. And Mira will go down. To get a
neutral items.
A very nice find for Toronto Tokyo. He gets himself the Trickster Cloak.
Oh, okay. That one's great. More evasion that we don't have any.
It's probably the best one he can get, really, in this sort of game where it's all about just trying to keep himself alive.
Might be one of the best neutral items in the game.
Very true. Very true.
Navi, 25 seconds, no Rubik. Iceberg at the ready watching. Oh, a DD bottom as well now. So there we go. V-Tune will be able to back up. Grab that.
Oh, what's happening here? Oh.
Wait, what?
He wanted to go for the jump. But what quite happened there? Did the Stormcrafter trip something up for him?
Something hit him, but honestly...
Oh, he's still going to be able to get the jump on Always Want to Fly. Oh, that BKB ain't going to save him.
Okay.
As he instantly goes down, collapse, he's going to be saved as well. The false promise comes out. The Lotus Orb as well, allowing them to turn things around. They're in on top of V-Tune. General from the side, they've put the BKB. They've got to respect the Enigma. They've got to watch out for this Black Hole as Yutoro's waiting out that BKB. He wants to be able to try and help Toronto Tokyo. He's now going to jump in over towards V-Tune. He's found the bash. V-Tune getting low. He's trying to get the mana void out. Yutoro, he's able to find it. The Black Hole's down though, allowing V-Tune to buy some time for himself. But the nuke damage there from Miposhka finishes V-Tune. They get the kill on General. They're going to be able to clean up Iceberg as well as Team Spirit take down the entire squad of Na'Vi.
Right after Yutoro gets his Scotty, he's able to get on top of E2. Na'Vi,
that was,
they made a big mistake.
Great saves there, really. The start of that turnaround being the false promise onto collapse. He's able to self-Lotus, and then that boom, that sort of stun that came in upon him just ended up causing so many issues for Na'Vi.
I was concerned too because they used the false promise on the Sand King instead of saving it for AM or for Death Prophet, but it ends up working for them. They're able to stick on V-Tune. And now
he's dead for 50 seconds. He's dead for 50 seconds. Spirit, they're able to put some pressure in here. Yutoro straight up to the base.
And the important thing too as well, Mira has Black Hole. He stole that at the end of the fight there.
Oh boy.
So for the next fight, there's gonna be a Black Hole too. Oh my god, have Spirit actually done this with an AM?
I mean, this is pretty insane. There's still tier 2s on the other 2 lanes, so they won't be able to get anything more than a set of racks, but that's still so much. Again, just in a game where, as has been stressed, it shouldn't be an easy draft for Spirit to play, but they're playing it so well right now against Na'Vi as Na'Vi have just missed that opportunity to overrun them, and Yutoro, he's doing it. He's carrying the squad.
So much gold injection now onto everybody. A full heart on Death Prophet, and everyone's just got a full item finished up now because of this turnaround.
Yeah, big swings.
He literally has like a full satanic now on anti-mage. He went from having, what, 1958 HP not even a few minutes ago.
Look at
now
this.
Being well over 3K.
We'll see. So this great save on collapse, and then indeed,
there's the Lotus.
V-Tune, he's been coming in with some great burrow strikes, but this one, it ends up getting Lotus straight back onto his team. And then, as we see here, just smart moves. As soon as that BKB comes out from General, Yatoro's being very cautious about how he commits.
And it's all right after the Aegis does go down as well, too. It was like everything that could have gone right for Spirit did go right, and everything that could have gone wrong for Na'Vi did. Always want to fight, dies before the fight, uses BKB, they get jumped, they get Lotus Orb turned. An excellent, excellent fight for Spirit.
Very clutch stuff coming out as well. Miposhka just having the blink, being able to get in position to kill V-Tune, because if he wasn't able to get him with that little bit of nuke damage onto V-Tune, there's a chance that V-Tune's able to sit there by the side of the black hole and start getting kills. As smoke up straight away, Yatoro's in with the jump. They found the jump onto the two of them. They're gone. Immediately, Spirit, they're playing too fast for Na'Vi now. Na'Vi's not prepared.
And look at this. Okay, bots from the Death Prophet to the mid lane. They really want to emphasize pushing the towers while 2 supports are dead. And I'm seeing Rapier queued up from V-Tune.
I mean, he needs it. He's going to be playing against, sort of 2 racks down here with Team Spirit taking the mid lane.
I cannot believe how quick all this turned in one single fight.
I mean, Team Spirit, they identified that they wanted to play the anti-mage this game. They drop it out 4th pick. Concerns were there with the responses that Na'Vi came in with. And then the final pick, Sand King, which has had a slow start, but we're here 42 minutes in, and Spirit, they've got the lead. And, maybe Na'Vi's not going to be having those smiles on their face as they did at the end of the draft, and perhaps the decision to allow the anti-mace to free farm top could come back to bite them pretty hard here in this first game.
Yeah, perhaps just taking a little bit too long to really push the issue forward there. Now Spirit has just so much gold. AM is full 6 slotted. Death Prophet's getting close to being 6 slotted too. And they just have this firm map control now too, where now Navi's under the gun and they're scared of just getting jumped on. If one of their heroes gets jumped, they just die instantly from this anti-mage now at this point.
Absolutely, yeah, he's
they have
massive.
to be careful.
Roshan's up in just under a minute as well. Spirit could be set up to take this.
And those few deaths that Iceberg had, where he was caught in the jungle, caught behind the tower, caught in the river,
up.
These are adding up. 5 deaths on the Lycan when they were cruising with the game.
That certainly
and now
has.
Tokyo, he's 25. Death Prophet up at 25 too, so has even more spirits. And these next fights for Na'Vi, still winnable, but tougher to execute now, as Spirit have hit this humongous timing that they can just jump in. This AM is big enough to now jumping into the backlines. It's going to force Navi's reaction every time. And then Spirit has all this information so they can take the fights.
I mean, it really does feel, V-Tune, he's got to play these fights perfectly. And sort of to give credit to V-Tune, he's pretty much been playing the whole game perfectly.
I think
just that one blunder, that one death, but other than that, it's been flawless on the Morph. And here we go. He's got the Rapier.
Yep.
It's all on his shoulders.
DD spawns outside the pit as well.
They're going to spot that?
Roche is dying.
I mean, Iceberg's coming in. He's able to put the DD. He's going to look to go straight in towards the pit. And they're able to put a stop to this. Roshan's getting low. Iceberg's trying to finish it, but Yatoro, he's onto the Lycan here with the Abyssal Blade. Roger rolls in. Yatoro standing his ground. Iceberg is able to turn and pick apart, collapse Yatoro. He's getting the kill on Roger. Roger, he's trying to finish up this Roche. They've called it. They've called it. V-Tune's dead. They've lost the Rapiers. GG, it's game over. As Spirit will take game 1, Fox.
Holy crap. Guess it only takes 1 or 2 fights when you have the AM when he's able to get the free farmers. They make it happen. 1 Lotus Orb to win a game, reflecting a Sand King stun. And that last fight, V-Tune he gets caught. He gets caught in a stun and just dies before getting anything off. They eviscerated him. Team Spirit somehow persevered throughout this game when it looked really tough. Somehow still take this. I am pleasantly shocked. I
mean, absolutely. This is just brilliant play from Spirit. And we heard from the panel, we heard from yourself, what we saw on the faces of Na'Vi after the draft, that it seemed like Na'Vi had it. They were able to get this last pick Lycan into the mix. They didn't really, I guess that's what it was. They didn't respect the lineup of Team Spirit enough. These heroes, they gave that anti-mage complete space because they were that confident that they'd be able to run them over, and they didn't at all.
Yeah, and a couple mistakes really push it over, right? Like if Iceberg maybe hadn't died a few of these times, right? Then they wouldn't have had this much time for the anti-mage to get online, so much time for them to set up for these defenses, and that ends up costing them the game for Na'Vi. And this is their bread and butter. You know, the panel was saying it. This Enigma, this Earth Spirit, this is what Navi loves to run, and they just get defeated by an anti-mage draft.
Yeah, some wild stuff and incredibly impressive performance here from Team Spirit. As Navi's definitely going to have to maybe give a bit more respect to some of these picks that they don't expect it to just have as good of a game as they did there. As Team Spirit, they take this game one off the back of the old anti-mage.
They do.